Alright. Hopefully, everything works the way it's supposed to work. That is the hope. Think we're good. Alright. Cool. Very cool. No, my world. I needed my world. My world was somewhat important. To be fair, we came out of this reasonably okay. We're just going to accelerate a bunch more, which is fine, honestly. We can work with this. Make our way downtown, walking fast, up to the part of the game we want to be in. But our opponent is likely ramping as quickly as, if not more quickly than ourselves. Oh. Fishbone Quill does do that. It is a good bit of kit. Speaking of good bit of kit, Beast Mirror is also a good bit of kit. I wonder how this matchup is, to be honest. I've not really had to try and play against Sapphire Steel very much so far. Well, I would like to put those grammars in my inkwell. Somehow we're on equal ink as our opponent, and they have a Fishbone Quill they've activated twice. This is kind of funny. We lost double friends, Hades, and let it go to the wheel. It's kind of sad. I think we're just inking this Jafar. I'm probably sending this Tink back where it came from. Don't feel like I'm in a particularly good shape here, but I always feel a bit dodgy holding on to like Hades and stuff in this matchup because it's so easy for your hand to get wheeled. Opponent's on the Aurora version of the deck, that's good to know. Cannon's fired, and Mirror's active? Mirror's active, okay. Opponent has said what they intend to do. So now we have to decide. Well, we're definitely inking one of these Robins because we're never drawing cards off of these at this point. I think I'm just supposed to bop it and lock it, to be completely honest. Good morning, Lorcana Goons. How are you today? Hopefully everything is alright with you. But we'll unsurprisingly ink that Aurora and start drawing, well, likely more relevant cards, but hopefully not. Hopefully not. Well, actually finding the exact same card, which is quite funny. Okay, so I am fine to... I think we just got to hedge our bets against the wheel here as best as we can. I think the wheel is probably how we lose this game a lot of the time. So I'm kind of about just removing this hook. Inking a Robin, playing a Robin, accepting I'm never drawing cards off of these, and just kind of getting to work on the quest front, and hoping we can basically rush there. Jushido. No snap today, buddy. Today is a nice casual Lorcana stream, but kind of finds the wheel as well. Felt like a cozy Sunday. Definitely was in the mood for a cozy Sunday, but I've got some snap stuff coming up actually, so. Stay tuned, I will have some stuff for you. Hopefully you're having a lovely day. But we'll shift their Aurora, which is fine. It still hasn't cleared this LC yet, I'm not sure. Are we getting like smashed or cannons fired at us as a follow-up? That would make some sense. Tinkerbell also makes some sense, sure. Alright. So this is definitely going in the inkwell. That's happening, so we'll do that before we get started. I feel like this might very well just be Hades' Bell here. I would like to Hades Tink, obviously, but I kind of can't because this Aurora exists. I guess I could trade into the Aurora. That's probably better, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's clear the Aurora. Quest with our boy Robin Hood. Sink the Tinkerbell. And play this bell. And just threaten lethal next turn. Do I want to ink an extra card? Yeah, actually, I kind of do. Ink this Philo. And yeah, you know what? Run out the other Philo as a result. Let's do that. Opponent really can't punish us too much for overextension here. Like, Grab Your Swords is already doing, like, what it's doing. That's okay with me. Opponent goes to work. 17 ink is an awful lot of ink. Their Robins do draw cards, but I think they're dead. They are very dead. Opponent cannot stop Bell taking their skull off on the following turn. Metaphorically, of course. Bell would never do such a thing. Boop. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. I apologise for the sniffles, folks. I am a little bit full of gunk, as much as I wish I wasn't. Hence the need for a cozy Sunday, to be honest. How's the music, by the way? Is it too loud, too quiet? What's the deal there? But yeah, just gonna try and have a nice cozy Sunday. We're gonna hard mulligan for this Mickey. I think a lot of this deck's hands kind of live and die on Mickey Mouse Detective. Yeah, let's hard mulligan for the Mickey. Try and find it. Alas, no dice. Slower start it will be this time. We'll ink the bell here. We're basically never going to get to this as it stands in our opening hand. We'll hold this Olaf until we know what our opponent is up to. Bum-ba-dum. Opponent's on Emerald. Okay, some John Silver on the other side. So this Olaf is probably going in the inkwell. It doesn't trade very well into Flynn Rider. Might trade okay into like Megara, but I don't really think that's where we are. So I think the Olaf is going in the ink, and we'll start the game on turn 3. I'd still love to rip a Mickey. That would be great. Okay, so opponent's on evasives. This matchup is actually quite hard. We are reasonably well equipped to tuck stuff away with this particular hand, but in general, we don't have too many answers to problematic cards, so we are going to ink the Robin, draw a card with Maleficent. We need to really find an acceleration effect here. Our hand is like very 7 heavy. Finding a Grammatala or a Mickey would go a long way. Maui in the ink, sure. Jasper's very beatable, that's okay. Bell is super good here, actually. So let's ink the Olaf. Play the Bell. Do we give up a card to clear this Flynn? I actually don't think we do, because we're very likely to Hades next turn. Hey, pay no heed. The Sapphire Steel deck struggles if you can match it in ink? Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You faintly hear music. Okay, I should dial this up a little bit then. I don't want it to be like too loud, but I don't really know what the perfect balance is per se. There, maybe. Maybe that's a bit more quaint. But yeah, so we'll go Inkity, boop. Now the question here is, what do we remove? I think I actually removed this Tink. I can remove the Flynn later if I want to, once my hand is no doubt empty. Do I care if Jasper kills this Maleficent? A little bit, actually. But I agree with you, Heed, yeah. Sapphire Steel does not have the best of times against us. Maui is a card I forgot my opponent was playing, to be fair. And probably should have considered a bit more. The quest from Bell felt fairly free, and evidently it was not. Okay, I think we're just... Oh, this is tough, actually. Am I just discarding the mirror? I think I actually prefer discarding the... Hey, Lorcana villain, how you doing? I think I prefer discarding the Ursula, actually. So how we're going to do this, we're going to trade the Hades into the Maui. Remove the Jasper. This is kind of the tough choice here, is Ursula versus Mirror. Let's keep the Ursula. Maybe this is more greedy. I'm actually not sure what's correct there. I think it's quite close. Partner with the Cusco, sure. I think this is part of the reason why I was leaning towards keeping the Ursula, because I think there's a good chance we have to try and race this down from our opponent's hand, which is going to be a bit tough, but we'll give it a good shake. We will jam Ursula. I think the mirror was probably just like too slow. That's a pretty good one, actually. Okay. Having the Hades to deal with the follow-up, even if it can't clear the Cusco, is pretty nice. Oh dear. Alright, this just got harder. LeFou for the Cusco too? Oh dear. Oh no. I'm in danger. Okay, I guess... What are we doing here? Jeez. I think I'm leaning more towards playing for the Robin, which we do manage to hit. Brand new subscriber coming in. Thank you, Nick Tompkins. I appreciate you. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully you're having a lovely day. This Ursula could be quite big, actually. This is going to be a tight game. We'll see how we do. Oh, neck like a cement mixer. Sorry about that. And the Tink. Oh, this is going to be tough. Sadly, we're not quite at a point where we can just quest away and win this game by ourselves, so we probably have to play defense. Yeah, we're on defense here, right? So, Hades clears the Tink. This trade happens. We go send Maleficent and Maleficent into the Cusco. Have Hades clear the LeFou. And quest. And then I think I'm fine to ink this. Gonna be tight. Sadly, we're only threatening 19 ourselves, so... Mother knows best. Okay. Picking up the cat. That's so good. Ah, no. I need to find Let It Go. That is not Let It Go. Ah, no. Well played by opponent. Well navigated. Just a little bit short. Good game. The second Cusco was really backbreaking there, to be honest. I think we were pretty well set up to answer most things that weren't another Cusco. And it being exactly Cusco was pretty damn problematic, actually. That's okay, that's how it goes sometimes. I go first here. Hand is pretty reasonable. We're going to look for the Mickey as best we can here. We're going to go no Elsa, no Robin, no Mira, no Hades. The question is if we're keeping Philo, because we know we're probably playing Grammar too. And I think going first, we're probably not. We really would like to find this Mickey, so let's take a look for it. And we're actually going to get it on the last card here, so absolutely rewarded. Yeah, the LeFou was kind of nuts there to keep that Cusco safe. Really, really impressive to see LeFou doing its thing. This hand is quite strong. I'm looking forward to playing this one out. Sweet game, honestly. Opponent played that really well. The Mother Knows Best line and the LeFou line were both very strong on the two Cuscos. Made it very hard to race. Couldn't quite turn the corner. Opponent inks Big Aladdin, so Ruby-Ami it is. Okay, we can beat Ruby-Ami. That's the thing we can do. Let's ink this Olaf. Play the Grammar. How is music for you now, folks? Are we a bit more equally leveled? Can you hear the chill vibes in the background when I'm not talking? What's the deal? Hopefully trying to make a nice relaxing environment for both me and all of you today, so feel free to let me know how it's going. I'll keep the bell over the Let It Go here, I think. We'll Accelerato Spagato. I'm very glad that my opponent quested, by the way. Makes these Ursulas a lot better. More LeFous, man. It's really cool to see this card picking up popularity. Just like all over the place. Even in Ruby-Amethyst. It's pretty sweet. Jushido, I couldn't agree more. I know the feeling. I have felt the same way on numerous occasions. Where I'm just like, I can't believe that's a phrase that I'm happy to say. And yet, it is. We're going to set ourselves up for the turn 4 Ursula here. Which is always something this deck is interested in doing. We don't even have to ink the bell. We're going to have 8 ink on our opponent's turn 4, which is kind of disgusting. But it goes to show you how successful IPs are making their way into card games and stuff, right? It never feels normal saying stuff like, oh, you know, top deck Iron Man, as you say. It takes a bit of getting used to. Gaston Broom. Surprised to see the Gaston played out here, but I suppose it is pretty good into these Mickeys in general. Brooming back in Archimedes is just incorrect, though. That's not really something you ever want to do with the Broom, I don't think. This is a good draw, too. Alright. She's on the table. Olaf is ink number 8. We're not questing with these. Are we trading them into the Maleficent, though? That's a good question. I'm not sure, actually. So I trade Mickey for half of Gaston and Maleficent. Is how this is going to go. I guess I can trade with the Broom as well. So probably not. Probably not. I think we'd rather have these bodies around for either lore or for friends on the other side singing a bit later on. Keep the Gaston from doing too much right now. So opponent's on the evasives, playing the goofies, which is good to know. This Mickey is probably the worst draw in our deck at this point. We're going to look for another Inkable off this Ursula. I don't mind running these out into Be Prepared, because I expect my opponent to have to do that eventually anyway. Mirror is online. We'll hold this bell for post Be Prepared at this point. And now I have a more interesting decision, because this is what, 4... They just trade the whole board into an Ursula that isn't the Goofy. Am I okay with that? Yeah, pretty sure I am. Yeah, sure. I kind of regret holding these Mickeys now, to be honest. I think not taking the Maleficent off the board probably just makes me a bit weaker to be prepared. But I guess the be prepared takes the Maleficent off the board. Not sure. Probably won't happen, but it'd be cool to see some Kingdom Hearts versions. I think there's a good chance of that kind of stuff happening in the future, Jushido. I think Lorcana's had just like some incredible success worldwide. It's like easily one of the most popular card games on release I've ever seen in my like 10 years of doing this. And I think there's a good chance that they see that success and turn around to Ravensburger and just go, yeah, what licenses do you want? You know, what characters do you want to make? Because you're doing it all the right way, and we love to see it. And that's very exciting, honestly. Opponent's on 5 ink here, by the way. Like, I'm just like absolutely ready to put you in a bin if possible. All right. Little bit of a sing-song. Now we have choices. What do we do now? Wife calls you a Disney freak now? Good problem to have, I guess. Okay, let's go Robin. Hopefully draw an Inkable into Belle here. And just like try and put our foot on the gas before my opponent has much of a chance to get themselves to be prepared. Yeah, I was never much of a Disney guy either, to be honest, in general. But like the game's really struck a chord with me, to be honest. And I'm now significantly more invested in several Disney IPs than I was, much to the chagrin and joy of several of my friends who now have a mutual talking ground that we maybe didn't have before. But they can't even be prepared this turn. We're just questing for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We actually just win the game. Opponent has to attack their Goofy into a Mickey to not die. Glorious. Well, we are not extending any further. That would be bad. We're just gonna draw cards and do things that replace themselves. Because Be Prepared is like the only card we lose to now anyway. Off you go. Snap got you back into comics? Yeah, same kind of vibe, honestly, to be honest with you, Jushido. It's the same kind of thing. It's nice to see something you're enjoying kind of cross back into an IP or a franchise that maybe you weren't super flush with. My opponent didn't quest there for some reason, which seems bad. And kind of get to relive that joy a little bit. It's nice. Yeah, let's just run the Mickey out here. Again, we can hold back as many good cards as we want. My opponent is just injured. Goodbye. Ruby-Amethyst is a good matchup, folks. It is like the reason to play this deck, in my opinion. Like, you do struggle into the aggro decks. I think the Emerald matchups are much harder, probably a bit harder than you need them to be for the deck to be good. But Sapphire Amethyst just takes Ruby-Amethyst and shoves it in a box. It's really fun to play. I enjoy the matchup a lot. Oh, my phone is yelling at me that I am currently live. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad YouTube is aware that I am streaming on the site. Going second here. Okay, good to know, good to know. We do have our Mickey. Mickey's kind of the linchpin for this one. I've said it a few times, but you do want a hard mulligan for Mickey in this deck a lot of the time, because the hands you have it are just miles better than the ones you don't. I think we're going to chuck the Maleficent, the Let It Go, and the Ursula here. And I'll keep the other Mally to accelerate into off of Mickey. For you, it could be any IP on the cards. It's the way the game plays. That's honestly lovely to see. Because the IP wouldn't have kept me alone. I wasn't a Disney guy. Like, I definitely tried the game out and was like, I'm enjoying what the game has to offer. And that's kind of what made me stick. And I agree that the game will be even better when the product distribution issues are kind of remedied to some extent. Alright, so this Belle is always going in the Inkwell. I'm going to hold this Befuddle for now to see whether my opponent wants to get aggressive with this Stitch, but I might very well befuddle it on 2 to play around the Rockstar. Because we don't want to be befuddling it on 3, we would rather be playing our Mickey at that point. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't think it was a game I was going to get into, and honestly, the depth of the Ruby-Amethyst mirrors really drew me in. I like complicated mirror matches, and it very much captured my heart, and I was like, I'm going to play some more Lorcana. I'm having a good time. It's a lot of fun. And then I started writing articles about it, and having the pleasure of working with TCG Player on the game, and that obviously influences how passionate you are about it too, because people want to support your work and care about what you say and what you think. It's on the Simba list of Amber Steel Song. I haven't seen too many of these recently. They discard a Hades, so they are the grindier version. We're gonna be, excuse me, we're gonna be sensible here, and we're gonna go ink the Mally and befuddle this Stitch so that we don't get a whole new worlded. Basically, we would like to avoid a whole new world, ruining our day. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. Back comes the Simba, sure. Seems like a difficult discard this time round. Maybe they're considering whether they're supposed to throw away the Stitch now that they can't shift it as early as they were before. I kind of expect it to be played again if they have a Rockstar. If they don't have a Rockstar, there's a good chance they chuck it away. Throw away a Beast, okay. Inks the Stitch. Alright. That hand does not look very good, or there is definitely a whole new world coming in 2 turns' time. So let's try and put our foot down. I'm not going to want this Friends if I'm expecting my hand to get shredded by a whole new world. So let's ink it. Keep myself the ability to play either of the 5s next turn. I apologise again, folks, for being a bit full of gunk. I'm slightly ill, and that's why we are hoodied up and lo-fied on and heaters turned up and trying to drive the illness out of me with an afternoon of rest and relaxation. Hopefully you don't mind the sniffles too much. Be our guest, put our knowledge to the test. What do we find? What do we find? I love this Halloween board, by the way. I don't think I've commented on it so far. I love the fact that a fan-made client has made a custom board for the season. I think it's great, and it looks fantastic. They find a Beast. We're not massively worried about Beast right now because, well, we have no items in play. They might just... If they just passed here, the other card has to be a whole new world. I don't see a world that it isn't. There's not an awful lot else you wouldn't play. It's definitely a whole new world. Okay. So, let's just get this Maleficent on the table and expect ourselves to get ram-raided next turn, I guess. I really don't want to lose this hand. It's very good, but I don't really see how it's not going to happen. It seems super likely that my opponent has the refill. Lanterns tick away. Into a Tink. The Tink's actually really kind of annoying here. Punishes the quest. My bad, I guess. For sure, Joshido, I couldn't agree more. I tend to find the fan-made clients, maybe they're lacking the budget to do something like truly exemplary in terms of, you know, how they look, all the special effects and flashy stuff like that, but they're made by passionate people. You can't design something like this that works the way that it does and not really care about the game and everything that goes into it. So It comes from a place of passion, and I think that's arguably much cooler. That was not a good draw. So we have to hedge against this whole new world again, don't we? Oh, this is so bad. Not having an Inkable here is pretty miserable. Well, we can. We obviously can ink the Let It Go, but I don't want to. This is Beast in a whole new world. It has to be. It just has to be. And I know about the Beast, so I don't even really want to play this mirror. So I think what I have to do is convince them that the Beast is the right play, but then they still spin the whole new world anyway. Ah! This is not good. Alright. This sucks, but I think it's correct. Let's get my card out of this mirror. And this is the best play if they do not have a whole new world. I don't see how, but it is the best play if they don't. I don't want to give this Tinkerbell a hit, so I'm not going to quest. But this is all just like always Beast into like ink into Beast into whole new world, I think, and that's pretty bad for us. But we have to ink the Let It Go to make our ink drops for when our opponent refills our hand. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to catch back up. It's painful, but must be done. And if it's not there, I think we're actually in very good shape. Beast does blow the mirror, and this Tink is about to sing. Just had to be. Just couldn't be anything else. This hand is not bad, though. We can work with this. Okay. I think we have to take care of the Tink first. And then this is still like not a great trade for me currently in what this Beast is able to do. Do I just have to start picking off things so that my opponent doesn't run away with the game? Maybe. I don't think so, not yet. We're not in a great spot here. Obviously, the whole new world was fairly faced up, I think. And we're in a much worse position after it. But we'll do our best to play back through this. Our hand has at least got a lot of our good cards in it. Common thing you found with open source software and fan-made clients, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Passion over profit is a huge testament to... These people are doing it from the goodness of their heart, and because they want this thing to exist, not because someone's paying them to do it. And don't get me wrong, you have very passionate people that are paid to do it. That's where everyone hopes to end up, right? But the initial fan projects, when there is no monetary incentive, there is no promise of fame and fortune, the only promise you have is that you're going to let more people play the game that you love. You've got to want it. You've got to care about it with everything that you've got, because otherwise you wouldn't do the constant updates, you wouldn't code all the cards, you wouldn't find a way to do this or find a way to do that. It's just not how that stuff works. I love it personally. I think anyone who works in this kind of stuff and is willing to pour so much of their heart into what they do should be very proud. And maybe that's just me, but I think they should be. Gonna clear now, I think. This Beast now gets to trade if it wants to anyway. Gotta start keeping this in control. Fanmades are a great way to show the company behind the game what they can do, for sure, absolutely. I think if they made a digital version of Lorcana as a client, they would make even more money than they already have, but it requires a whole extra team of resources to do something. The problem is, like, Pixelborn is fantastic, right? What we're playing on here is a fantastic, fantastic piece of work. from the person behind it, but you can tell that it's designed and created by a 1 to 2 to 3 man team, right? It's a passion project. It's not got a company budget. Whereas if Ravensburger, if Disney were to release an official client, it couldn't look like this. It wouldn't be acceptable for this to be an official Lorcana client. It would have to be an awful lot more. And that's kind of the issue they face, right? They need to know that it's worth the time and investment, because they didn't even think the game was going to be successful. Like, Ravensburger were genuinely scared that they weren't going to have a hit on their hands. And no company that's scared of failure makes a digital client to begin with. So they need to see the continued success after set 3, set 4, set 5, where they're making money hand over fist. And then maybe it's worth exploring how they would go about creating a digital client, hiring all the people you would need to do that, and how long it would take, and if it's worthwhile. And I don't get paid enough to think about that kind of stuff. I'm no specialist or expert, but I'm sure they've got the right people on board to figure it out. Alright, we're going to put up a fight here. We're just going to keep slamming 7s. It's not great, but we'll do what we have to do. Opponent is questing for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, so we have to do something. We can't just sit here and quest ourselves. Yeah, alright. In the perfect world, they pull their system works and hire the pixel. Yeah, that would be lovely. Of course. There are pros and cons to that in a lot of ways. You know, maybe those people don't have the level of experience required, don't know how to do things on a Hollywood scale per se, and maybe it's just not possible. But you'd like to hope they get them involved in some capacity, because that's exactly what you're looking for. I think we really need an Elsa to get back into this. I do not think anything but an Elsa is going to give us a shot. Hades, sure. Interesting to see the Simbas back in this deck again. I don't see too many of the Simbas these days. They've kind of fallen out of favour. I quite like them personally, but they're definitely a little more uncommon at this point. It's pretty good. Okay, Elsa for a chance. That is not an Elsa. Yeah, I'm going to let my opponent have this here. I'm pretty sure we are buried at this point. I'd rather just move on to the next game. Bit of an awkward one, to be honest, but the wheel really hit on a bad spot. Against Amber Steel, you really have to have the early accelerant starts. You're looking for Grammar into Mickey, because you really need... even Bell is really good in that situation, because you're really looking for the ability to just play the whole hand they give you. So you just want to ink your first hand as aggressively as you can before you get wheeled. Okay, this hand is not terrible by any stretch. The mirror is kind of a payoff, but I don't think it's worth keeping in the dark. I will keep 4, I think. Okay, now we're going to need to find some kind of payoff for all of this acceleration, but we have a friend on the other side to do it, so definitely possible. Opponent is Ink and a Stitch. Are we... Okay, we only know that we're against Amber so far, which is fine. We will... Do we contest this Stitch? We can just play Philo and contest the Stitch. But if they have a Rockstar, they never quest with it anyway once you play the Philo, so I just don't think that's a thing that we're supposed to do. I'd rather just do what we were talking about a minute ago. get our accelerants on the table so that when we do... Whoa! We're Amber Ruby! This deck's really cool. I saw it top 8 an event the other week that we talked about on Podcana. But I actually still don't know how good it is. I haven't seen that much of it. I just know that it's kind of sweet. Alright, I'm going to try and make this trade for the Gaston alongside another Grammatella. And we'll just try and get to this Ursula real quick. Don't see a lot of Amber Ruby. I think it's probably a very underexplored colour combination, to be honest. But it's really hard to want to play Ruby and not play Be Prepared. Yeah, pay no heed. I've talked about it with friends of mine, actually. We think the winner's photo outside Disney World, like the trophy being held in the air in front of like the castle and everything, would just be the single best winner's photo any card game has ever taken. Yeah, Joshido. I've known Brendan a very long time at this point. I mean, I work for the man, obviously. And yes, he gets around. He has podcasts for every game that he dips his toes in. Very much a podcaster by nature. Okay. Bonk. Okay. So this now is just going to be ink, philo, draw cards, play mirror, probably. Mickey's a little late, but we are ready to Ursula next turn. Yeah, he's a busy man. He keeps himself very, very busy, does Brendan. Gotta respect the hustle. Pongo is actually a little annoying here, but not massively. Down comes the large buttocks of Ursula Power Hungry. This can just get dragon fired, which would be kind of annoying here, actually. But I think I should have inked that bell. I think inking the bell was better than inking the Let It Go, actually, because of this Pongo. That was probably bad. Probably just wrong. Noted. Noted, noted, noted. Okay. I think I'm inking this bell now, though. And I think we're going Mickey Jafar. Try and keep up with this board, and then let our mirrors carry us in card advantage. That's the plan, at least. Da-da. Oh. Yeah, go ahead and ink that Rapunzel. I'm never giving you Rapunzel value. Whoa! Stitch Abomination is not one you see very often. Okay, that's kind of large. I might have to kill that. Yeah, okay. I don't like it, but I don't think we have much of a choice here. And again, I think I'm just going to ink, because I think I want to be able to start drawing cards with these mirrors and play off the top, basically. Whoa, Stitch Abomination is a big boy. You don't see that one very often. Oh no, this is bad. Opponent's hand played out very smoothly here. I could not keep the Carefree Surfer in check by any stretch. Alright, gonna need some help to get out of this one. That's not bad. Drawing a card is probably better than playing Mickey here, I think. Cool. Do I take care of the Gaston? No, I don't. This is going to be a tough one. Opponent played this quite well, and the stitch into stitch curve was pretty backbreaking. Wow, they're so large. I'm not used to playing against Stitch Abominations. This is a card that doesn't see that much play at all. And it's proven to be a bit of a headache. Gaston does have to punch Elsa, unfortunately, for my opponent. Looking for Hades, looking for Let It Go. Those are the cards we're really looking to find here. You can't pass, opponent. Your Gaston does have to... There you go. He is forced to do so. Grammatala is not what we're looking for. Not at this point. Neither is Archimedes. Let It Go counts. I do have to sing that now, though. That's okay. I can do that. Which Stitch? I think it's Abomination. I don't like it, but I think it's Abomination. Alright. Magic Mirror, you're going to have to do some heavy lifting. I've got a lot of ink to put into you, but I'm in need of cards. Nice, you have forgotten me, opponent. Hades is a lot better. The Hades is good. That's a problem. Yeah, honestly, people probably should explore more Ruby Amber. I think the combination is mostly just underexplored in every way. Opponent's putting their foot down. Oh, that's so good here. That's a ridiculous draw. We're in it. Vroom vroom. Put your foot down. Got to turn the corner before it's too late. That Abomination is scary. I think Be Prepared is arguably even more scary, but I'm not in a position to play around it. One unknown card in hand. What is it? Correctly trades for the Elsa. Makes a lot of sense. It's another Hades. So we're going for a Hades loop. So this isn't lethal. This is only a threat. Oh my god! Just have all the cards. Just draw the cards you need. Have you tried just drawing all the good cards, chat? The number doesn't change. We should sing this. Whoop. Have you considered just peeling the perfects? I have. It's really good. It's really, really good. If you are stopping by the way, folks, you are enjoying the live stream content, you want to see more of this on YouTube, do me a favour, if you don't mind, just drop a like on this stream. You can scroll down, there's a like button just like there would be on a YouTube video. Go and give the thumb a press. It goes a really long way in helping us find more people and push the channel. If you haven't subscribed, you can consider doing that as well. That'd be great. I'd love to see you for more content in the future. Appreciate you hanging out and having a good time with the lo-fi vibes. What is it with... I have no idea what you're talking about, Pain of Heat. No, nothing at all. No top decks here. All skill. All skill. I'm going to hard mulligan for the Mickey here. I'll keep the Olaf, of course, but... looking for a Mickey Mouse detective. Not finding one, so going to need to have a bit of luck going forward. We are on Olaf into Philo this game if we want to be there. Opponents on High 5, Emerald Sapphire. You don't see this deck very much. I think it's really good, though. I think Emerald Sapphire is probably a really bad matchup for me, actually. Olaf does not line up great with this Duke, but it will after the Philo. So I think we're running it out here. I think. Gonna have to contest this board somehow. Elsa is a bit early. Not having a 2-cost card here was like genuinely kind of huge for my game plan. Cart of the Hearts. I think that's something. The Yoglios, right? Something like that. Yeah. Sounds like a familiar phrase that I've definitely not heard before. Because my opponent's on Emerald Sapphire, I don't really have to worry about like Rafiki punishing me for questing with Olaf here. Opponent will accelerate though. They're on their way with the Mickey up to their 5-cost cards. They do just want to take the trade. Interesting. I'm a little surprised by that. Alright, well, no acceleration for me, which is definitely a bit of a concern. But, I can keep my Philo around and do this, so I will. Off you go. I think Amethyst is definitely still my favourite ink right now. I really enjoy playing this deck. I'm not sure it's quite good enough if you're trying to be super competitive, because the Emerald matchups are really quite hard, and like Steel isn't free or anything. But it's great against Ruby-Amethyst, and it's a heck of a lot of fun to play. Yu-Gi-Mons? Yeah, that sounds about right, right? That's probably the thing that all the kids watched when I was younger. Yeah, the Yu-Gi-Mons. That tracks. I will sing this, friends, here. I want Inkables. That counts. I was really hoping to find the Mickey, to be honest, but you can't always run that good. Alright. This is definitely one of the harder games where you don't find any acceleration. No Grammars, no Mickeys, and we've looked at, what, over 20 cards, if you count the ones that we mulliganed back. Not finding any of them in the 20 cards is pretty brutal, and it really slows down what you're trying to do over here, when your hand gets clogged up like this with all these uninkable top-end cards. It's pretty rough. Opponent's not got the best quest here, though. They are trading their Cusco for a Maleficent. Never mind. No, they aren't. Curious. I think the Jafar is a better card to play right now, actually, so I am going to do that. I don't think this trade is good for me, so I'm going to be patient and keep threatening Maleficent trading into either of these 5-cost cards. Very much just want to draw Inkables and nothing else, obviously. If we brick, it's going to be pretty painful here, but... No ramp. No ramp does do that sometimes. It is part of playing this deck currently. Opponent's board quests for my entire bank balance right now, which is concerning. Alright, well, if we weren't going to draw an Inkable, that's the next best thing. This is now questing for what? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12? Sheesh! I am in danger. Not a lot I can do, though, to be honest. Do I think Be Prepared is the best action in the game right now and going forward? Right now, yes. Going forward, absolutely not. I think Ruby being the only color combination that has access to a board wipe, like a traditional, like, full-blown board wipe, regardless of what's going on, is kind of what gives Ruby power at the moment. But that's not something you can keep in Ruby forever. And I think the effect becomes worse when there are more effects like it. The more cards you get that are grab your swords adjacent or even like be prepared adjacent, the worse the card actually gets. I think it's very good, and it will continue to be very good and be a reason to be Ruby. I don't think it's likely to be the best action in the game forever. Are we dead? We might be dead. So let's philo our way over here. Have Mickey eat the Cusco. Maleficent hits the Flynn. We'll discard an Ursula. We have more than enough of those. And this ends up being 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. If we take away 2, it's still 7. So I have to actually haze a 3-quester. Okay. Hold. I don't really see how we manage this, to be honest. Opponent eventually finds a Cusco or something. Yeah. Yeah, this was a pretty brutal start, sadly. And again, this is kind of this deck's problem right now. Is that it loses games to itself. What you're doing is very powerful. And I am... we're alive here, which is kind of nuts. I really enjoy it. But I do think that a lot of the games you lose, you just lose to your own inability to draw ramp. And that's obviously an issue. Another Elsa off the top, maybe? Okay, not gonna matter now. Yeah, just too slow. Too slow. We kind of half got to the stage of the game we wanted to be in, but had not found any acceleration, which is pretty dismal for trying to do that, basically. But we'll try again. Same deal, really. Gotta take a hard look for this Mickey if we can find it. There we go. Okay, going first, we're never playing an Olaf in the dark, so we'll ink one and pass. This is the same opponent, by the way. This is Emerald Sapphire again. We've been paired into it a second time. Alright. In which case, I'll play the Philo so the Mickey can start clearing on turn 4. Opponent will quest. Dun, dun, dun. Inside it goes, sure. Into Flynn, okay. We'll be pretty happy to take care of Flynn. I'm fairly certain. So let's ink a Mally here. Get our acceleration on. And we will not be questing. We don't want to give our opponent the opportunity to trade into Philo here. He's more valuable in what he can do with Mickey and Maleficent and the like going forward to trade up into these emerald bodies. Inks of hands, okay, that's probably not good for us actually. Yeah, opponents had Mickey on 3 both games, and that's very much what their deck wants to do as well. We are past the point of Grammatella, I think. Maybe we're not. Actually, yeah, maybe we're not. Let's take a look at what I draw from this Maleficent to start with. Bell. No, I think we probably are past it at this point. So we'll go quest, throw our stats onto Mickey, have Mickey hit the Flynn, discard the Grammatella. Pass. Now opponent gets to start slamming their Cuscos and Mad Hatters, which is definitely a bit scary. Does indeed take their trade that they are, well, not trade, take the kill they are allowed to get from their Duke. I think them trading the board off is mostly good for me though, so I'm kind of okay with it. Another Mickey is way better than I was expecting it to be for me. Was very much expecting to get a Hatter or a Cusco slapped at my face, maybe even a Maleficent, uninvited. Any of the above, really. It only being a Mickey is kind of insane. Alright, Bell goes in the Inkwell. Ink Bell, if you will. Draw a card from Robin Hood. Am I trading for this Duke? That's actually genuinely a good question. And I think the answer is probably just yes. I think the longer this game goes, the better it is for me. I don't have to worry about singing friends on the other side. I just want to take my opponent off as much lore as I possibly can to extend the game out to the point where my haymakers go over the top of theirs. So I'm going to go with yes. Unclear on whether that's actually true. But, you know, there is a Cusco. Putting facial expressions on my eyebrows now. Whee! Ink's Duke, sure thing. Ursula. Okay, well. Not ideal by any stretch, but we'll do what we have to do. We are now ready to 7. I kind of want to call this deck like Slot Machine or something, like, because of the triple sevens. Even though that our hand is currently 7-7-8. That Hades is really feckin' good. That's annoying. Alright, well I guess I'm returning the favour. And this quest is kind of free. Surprised to see this deck playing up to Hades, to be honest. And them not drawing a card off this Robin Hood is just like, ah, perfect. Delightful, thank you. Let it go. Do I have to? Alright, let's draw from Ursula. Interesting. Yeah, I'm happy to ink this, I think, actually. And probably just sing away the Robin Hood. Keep control of the board. Honestly, Joshido, I totally understand. This has been very fun for me in recent memory, but I'm pretty sure I'll sour on it eventually. But I'm hoping I enjoy it long enough that Set 2 releases, and it gets like new toys, new tools, ways to kind of prevent the ability to lose to yourself, and I get to just keep playing it, because it's definitely my pet deck. I probably wouldn't take this to like a high-end tournament or anything, because again, I think the Emerald matchups are just like too bad, and your deck sometimes just fails, which is not great, but it's definitely some of the most fun I have playing the game. Alright, time to put our foot down, ladies and gents. It is time to accelerate. A lot of good top decks here. Mirror would be great, Friends would be great, Elsa would be great, Ursula would be great, Hades would be fairly great. Let It Go was not great. Didn't want to see that one. That's a problem. Ooh. Yeah, deck building with the worst case scenario in mind is never a bad thing, I don't think. Alright. So, let's start trading down, I guess. This is always happening. So opponent goes to 3, 6, 7, 8. So they actually win the game if we don't do something. So let's do something. That seems the right way around, of course. We've all got our cruxes, Shishido. Hey, Danny Bizzle, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Welcome to Beyond the Inkwell. I'm glad you're enjoying the Lorcana content on the channel. Thanks for hanging out. This is going to be a little tough to get there, I think, if our opponent's draw was any good. Not impossible, though. We're in this. It's just going to need a really good top deck. Oh, we're now out of this. Okay. Not great. Not great. Alright, couple rough games. I think I'm going to switch it up and play something else for a little bit. I got a bit of a brew going on as well here. I actually think this deck's pretty bad, but I'm working on a bigger version of Lemon Lime that we're calling Large Sprite with Ice. I think, unfortunately for this deck, it also has exceptionally polarized matchups, but I like the idea of being able to go up to Stitch Carefree Surfer in this deck. I also think Aerial's very good in Lemon Lime, because you have a lot of songs that you're actually just kind of happy to play. So I'm giving it a shake and seeing how it feels. Going second is not great here. This hand is kind of ass. We'll keep a Rapunzel and the Flynn, probably. Tempted to keep the Rockstar, but I think I'm gonna. I should. Okay, well, I'm glad that I didn't, I guess. Lady Sif Ironland 20. Yes, that is very funny. I agree. Okay, this Surfer is definitely getting inked this game. Dun dun dun. We'll get our Stitch on. I really should just make time to play a good deck and smash my way up the Pixelborn ladder, but I continue to not make time doing that. Okay, I'm going to try and keep the second one of these if it's possible. We'll ink the John Silver instead. Flynn and... I think I'm questing with this Stitch here. It's close though. Genuinely kind of close. It's making random facial expressions to the music now. Put ink says Cheshire Cat, sure. Okay, Jasper's pretty good in this matchup. We'll probably have to take care of that at some point. Yeah, Emerald Amethyst is a good one for that if you're just looking to steam climb. I honestly just haven't made time. Like, I'm really busy these days, and most of the Pixelborn I play is for videos, so I don't really get a chance to play the things I want to play necessarily. I'm playing the decks I think I should be playing for content. It's a bit weird. Okay, I am down to Clown. Let's ink this Stitch, throw the Jasper back into my opponent's hand, and we'll do this again. And it might be Rockstar o'clock next turn. Yeah, I agree. Emerald Amethyst is just a really good deck, honestly. Like, I love playing Ruby-Amethyst, but if you want to climb with it, good luck. You're going to spend your a couple hours jamming mirror matches. So we're Emerald Steel, okay. Alright. Cute. Do I want a Rockstar? I think I probably do. Okay. Shifty, shifty. I will quest with just the Flynn here. And we'll look to see what we can do with the rest of our hand. Tempting to keep the Surfer over the Rapunzel there instead of inking the Carefree Surfer, but I think between Rapunzel and hopefully Rockstar and even Ariel, you should be okay on card advantage, and we're not guaranteed to get our way up to Carefree Surfer in a reasonable time frame. So. Opponent will ping the Flynn, which is fine. Into a Hatter, sure. You have forgotten me. Interesting. That's kind of tempting. I just think the Rapunzel's too good here, right? We just clear, draw 3. Okay. We're looking okay here. Amber cards are good, more at 5. Opponent gets their quest on. Probably going to have to start playing board control a little bit here. John Silver is slightly annoying. Probably okay though. Alright. This is any time they're challenged, which sucks ass. But we'll survive. Alright. Every week at locals you take a different deck, just to get used to different colours and how they play. Yeah, for sure. I'm the same. I get bored if I play the same thing too often. I like to brew and try different things and work on novel concepts. I'll play good decks when I'm competing, sure, but I get bored if I play those decks all the time. Alright. Am I discarding 2 cards to keep the Rockstar around? 2, 4. So you go to 17. I go 3, 4, 5. I can't go to 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. This is quite tough, actually. All right. We play down. Try and maintain the board. Genuinely a super tough choice there. But I think with the second genie, we're better off trying to play board control. The Hatter comes back. The Flynn is pretty painful here. Didn't want to see that. Oh, that's super annoying. They do only go to 4. Alright, play the game. Yep. Ink. Yes. Oh, that's insane! That's a ridiculous Mother Knows Best. Oh my god, get in the bin. Just, yeah. I would like to sing a song of my people. Straight in the garbage. The Stitch drawing a card off the Rockstar, peeling the song off of the Rockstar that can't quest. I accept. Yes, please and thank you. Very cool. That was kind of disgusting. That was a muggins, alright. We did our opponent a bit dirty there. Alright, looking for a bit more of an aggressive start going first here. I will keep the Ariel and the Rapunzel, I think, is probably where I'm at. If I knew I was in an Emerald Mirror, I would keep a Jasper, but not knowing, I'm probably throwing it back. Okay. This song is a bit loud. And not particularly my vibe either, so let's move on from that. Okay, do I want to play this Duke? That's the question. And I think the answer is, honestly, no, I don't. Because my hand wants to go 5-6 pretty consistently here. So I think we're going to ink this. And look to go Duke into Ariel, into Rapunzel, into Cusco. Opponent is also an Amber player. We find a Stitch. Yeah, that's fine to ink here as well. Here comes the Smolder. Playing with the Prince Eric does line up fairly well into our boy Flynn. Alright, Rapunzel, in you go. We're looking for an inkable song here, really. No dice. Do I just want my lore? Probably not. I think there's a good chance we quest with Flynn next turn and make the trade happen, because at that point we can get our swords grabbed. Opponent is in fact just playing... Oh look, a Grab Your Swords. A very regular looking Amber Steel Song deck. This matchup does feel like it's a bit rough. We kind of said this when we were brewing. But we are just going to be... Ooh, what are we doing here? Yeah, okay, sure. You have my attention. I expect my swords to be grabbed a reasonable amount. I don't want to expose Ariel to grab your swords necessarily. So... I will draw a card. And pass. Ding dong. Swords have been grabbed. Cannons have been fired. What's next on Disney Lorcana? Alright, this is fine by me. Let's establish a Cusco. Why did I do that? Okay, let's not ask questions about why I did that, because that wasn't very clever. I meant to quest with this, and I didn't. And that's not great. I was not paying enough attention to what I was doing. My bad. Don't whole new world me there, my hand was really good. Now I'm sad. Alright. Got some work to do here. How hard is it for my opponent to clear a Twitch Rockstar? A Stitch Rockstar, I should say. I want to say reasonably hard. But I think the correct play here is likely Aerial, grab a song, play this, and keep the Cusco safe. Is probably the line. Not sure. The joys of brewing stuff sometimes is that it's very much a case of figuring out things as you go. Opponents found their lanterns. The Eric comes back. Understood. Okay. So we go Ink, Rockstar, play a Stitch, yes please. And who are we bouncing away? Because I think this one definitely happens. The question is if the other one happens. And I don't think it does. I think at this point, if my opponent wants to trade their entire board into the Cusco, I'm mostly okay with that. So we'll try it this way. Aerial, what do we find? Nothing! Opponent's hand is full of little idiots that aren't doing a whole lot. They are indeed going for the clear on the Cusco, that's fine. Okay. Let's start by having Ariel sing a little. Look for a Carefree Surfer, maybe? Ding dong! That's pretty good. Okay. Ooh, what do we do here? I think I'm supposed to try and be patient. I'm a little scared of getting wheeled here, though. Okay, opponent can carefree surf for themselves. That's actually okay. I think we can live with that. Okay, so now I can just shred my opponent's hand to bits if I want to. We are falling a little behind on this lore race, though, so we gotta be savvy. What is this? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 currently? Alright. We might be singing this, I'm not sure. Some good discards. If we're singing, we're not singing this, so... Let's get rid of the last one as well. There's another Carefree Surfer, look at that. Absolutely ripped to shreds. So we'll go... Normal, draw a card. This way. Okay. Tinkerbell, sure. Simba down. Rockstar down. Probably shouldn't have quested with specifically the Stitch, actually. I think going to 11 was mostly the same there. So we do get to bounce twice here. It's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So bouncing twice does indeed buy us another turn. But we're not actually winning on that turn, which is a bit dodge. Hmm. Two, 4, 5, 6. So I would still have to bounce in that case. Okay, let's try it this way. Thump. This doesn't really help. I think we are out of luck a lot of the time now. The John Silver might help. Not right now, of course, but... Oh, I have to bounce and let them draw 2 cards anyway. It's pretty bad. Okay. I think it's kind of my problem with this deck so far. We've kind of been tinkering around with the concept of going bigger with Lemon Lime, but I think for the most part you end up being a worse version of Amber Steel, which is a bit of a shame. I'm hoping maybe we can find some reasons to stay this color combination. But I feel for the most part missing out on the steel songs is just like really kind of backbreaking. Like A Whole New World is just a silly piece of cardboard. Don't think we have an out in this spot. It's definitely not a Carefree Surfer. Alright. Beats. This needs more work, and I'm not sure I'm in the mood to keep playing it at the moment. I'm going to play another game of Amethyst Sapphire while I think about what I want to play. I might brew something. I might throw something together I haven't played before and try some things out. I feel like, unfortunately, the format's fairly solved right now. Which, I mean, it should be. We're one set deep, and people have been playing for a long old while at this point. People know what's good. There's not a lot of wiggle room. But Emerald card removal is the package you'd add to Amber. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm exploring, Aaron, in the sense that Sudden Chill is obviously very good with You Have Forgotten Me. And like, if you can play a game where you can play into the board early and then rip your opponent's hand away, they can't really stop you from killing them. And that's kind of the appeal to me. Alright, looking for the Mickey. Looking for the Mickey. I'll mull the Maleficent. The Mickey's pretty important, if we can find it. We sadly cannot. And yeah, I think that's kind of what I want to explore. And I think, obviously, Ariel finding the songs is still just very good there too. So, it's mostly what that is based around, but I think maybe we need a few more cards to really get there. Okay, we're never playing Olaf going first in this situation, so it can go in the inkwell. Ah, Ruby-Amethyst, it would appear. Alright, let's get our acceleration on to go. Kind of do want to explore Amber Ruby a little more too. Also like Amethyst Steel. Just like these color combinations that people aren't really playing. I want to see if we can find like a hidden gem tucked away in those color combinations. No Mickey. Womp womp. I think we're destroying some cards here, in which case... yeah. Opponent do be doing that Ruby-Amethyst thing. Does have another Aladdin, which is a bit sad, but sure. Okay. I would really rather be playing to the board somewhat here, but we don't really have the ability to do so, which is kind of sad. So let's keep looking for good things to do and gaining card advantage. I don't really care if my opponent punches this, so be my guest. Ruby Sapphire? Yeah, Ruby Sapphire. My problem with Ruby Sapphire in particular is it just feels like worse Ruby Amethyst because you don't have the card advantage. It's really hard to refill in that deck. Like, you don't have Mirror, you don't have, you know, any of the Amethyst card advantage tools. I think if they give Sapphire or Ruby, like, reasonable card draw, that deck is probably really quite good. But there's just, like, no way to refill. There's not even, like, a Beast Mirror or anything like that for you to try and gas back up when you're done accelerating all your ink. This Elsa is surprisingly annoying. Alright. Let's get the Maleficent on the table. And again, same deal here. You can kill this if you wish. In fact, I actively would like you to at this point. Dragon's Fury. You got it. Alright, so sadly this is getting inked, which is fine. We'll go mirror, draw a card. And then cash the Grammatala in. And set ourselves up to start trading Haymakers. Haymakers are good. See, I like Ruby Sapphire. It feels like it should be good, and yeah, it never quite feels like it gets there. Shifting the Elsa just to quest, that's very aggressive, and I'm gonna punish them for it because well, Hades exists. They do have significantly more ink than they did before, though, because they will get both. But they have had a serious lack of card draw so far this game, so the plan is very much just to keep slamming up. Well, why did I say anything? Why did I use words? Why did I think that was a good idea? But we're just going to slam Haymakers into their face until they die. That's very much the plan. Early up. No Inkable is kind of upsetting there, but that's fine. I can't really complain about my hand looking like this. It's just all the good cards, which is a good problem to have. Opponent will get questing, that's fine. Got all them Dragonfires, but I'm drawing cards off of my Ursulas while you're doing it, so I really don't mind. Like, I'm just getting ahead here. Like, keep 2 for 1ing yourself, be my guest. I think Ursula Power Hungry is genuinely one of my favourite cards in Lorcana, and I hope it finds more homes in the future. I really enjoy playing with the card, I think it's a lot of fun. And a great little 7-cost card. 8 is just so much. It's got such a big backside. Well, hey. Gonna start rebuying those Dragonfires with brooms, apparently, sure. Obviously, we're not looking to extend too hard into Be Prepared here. We do find a bell. Alright, very fruity. Let's try and hit an Inkable. Look at that. It's almost like all of our uninkables are in our hands, so we should be pretty likely to hit one. Alright. Hand is just full of hot shots, so when our opponent does start sweeping away the board, we should be alright. They are through... They've Dragonfired us 3 times so far. They have bought one of them back, admittedly. But there are no Be Prepareds burnt yet, so... Maui! Maui's pretty good here. Super solid, okay. So they clear out the Ursula, which we're fine with. Again, we'll make them clear out these threats one at a time. We're like very happy for that to be the case. Let's go sink the Maui. Trade with the Aladdin to stop the hasty one coming down. Draw another card, because we're allowed to do that. And drawing cards is great against Ruby-Amethyst. And just keep ourselves steady. All the card advantage, all these ridiculous Haymakers in our hand. Play to the board slowly, just enough to pressure our opponent to make them do something, but not enough to get our entire shit kicked in by a Be Prepared. And so we will do it this way. Right, well, if you're gonna Elsa, I'll give you a Hades back, and you can Be Prepared it away if you'd like. So, vump. Again, I'd like to ink something that's not in my hand currently. That'll do. Pass it back. This probably earns a Be Prepared if my opponent's got one, and then we can just extend Bell into Maleficent. No, they've only got Dragonfires, so they're going to have to keep doing it the hard way. No sweeper. Or at least not one they're willing to spend yet on this board. Archimedes. My opponent's not having a good time. Yeah, I'm actually a little scared of my opponent just trying to run away with the game at this point. So let's draw a card, ink the Mally, and I'll give you an Elsa. I have some to spare. So if that card in your hand is not a Be Prepared, I'm now winning the race. If it is a Be Prepared, you're going to be pretty inclined to fire it off. But we are very up on cards here. And again, this is the reason to play this deck in my opinion. I think the Ruby-Amethyst matchup is very, very good for this deck. You just struggle against Emerald. And Steel feels pretty 50-50. The problem is, of course, that your deck sometimes loses to itself. And that's not a good place to be. Alright, well, how about I just keep slamming these now? Lock this. Lock this. I don't need to play any more threats. Start closing the door. Don't want you to find the old Be Prepared now. Maui's a good one here. Maui's going to keep you alive. Up to 10, law you go. Alright. Same deal, really. Just lockety, lockety. Questity, questity. And I'll even give you a Maleficent for fun this time. Ding dong. If this deck could play against Ruby-Amethyst all day, it would have a fantastic time. It just kind of can't, unfortunately. There are other decks in the game, and yeah. How you doing, folks? Thank you everyone who's hanging out. I appreciate this nice chill Sunday stream appealing to a number of people. If you're joining me for the very first time, hi, my name is Howling Minds. I am the guy behind Beyond the Inkwell. If you haven't checked out our content here on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you did so. By all means, drop a subscription, maybe drop a like on this stream if you're having a good time. It would be very nice to see you again. This hand is pretty good. Let's chuck away the haymakers. We have our Mickey. Let's just try and get to work. In the dark, going first, we are never playing Archimedes. Are we more likely to want Archimedes or Befuddle? Probably Befuddle. So, we'll ink the Archimedes and chuck it back. Jasper, okay. Ooh, okay, Emerald Amethyst is a hard matchup, sadly. I am just going to buy tempo here, I think. Because we are very likely to be spending all our ink going forward. So let's just boink the Olaf away. Buy some tempo. Look to go Mickey into Maleficent into draw cards, basically. Opponent does have the Flynn. Okay. Let's ink a Mally. Get our acceleration on. But yeah, these Emerald matchups are kind of what I'm trying to fix. I'm playing some Jafars in the 4-drop slot. I think the Olaf Philo package is better into these matchups, but they're proving to be very difficult, and I'm not really sure what I can change to make them better, but it's very much a work in progress. I'm sure I'll figure it out in time. This is actually kind of tempting to keep this Grammatala here. It gets me to the Elsa, like, much quicker. Alright, I'm down. Let It Go is not a bad one to draw here either. Do I let my opponent have this trade if they want it? I should have thought about this before I played, to be honest. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah. This was ordered pretty badly. This turn could have been sequenced better. My bad. Lessons learned. I think if I play it the other way, the only difference is I probably have another Maleficent in my hand instead of a Bell. Have I tried Fishbone in this deck? Yeah, I have actually. The problem is with Fishbone that, like, much like Bell, Bell is very much a payoff in this deck more than it is an accelerant. Like, you're not looking to dump your hand. It's not like Sapphire Steel where we can just, like, a whole new world our hand back up to kind of play with what we draw. We kind of have to have Haymakers in our hand when we kind of get to 7. So the goal for this deck is very much to get to 7 as quickly as you can, and then slow down, basically. You just want to be playing Hades, Ursula's, and like maybe Elsa's earlier than you should be. Not really like accelerating to 15, 16 ink, because you don't have the recover ability. Like you need to keep cards in your hand, and if you're just like aggressively inking from your hand all the time, you run out of cards. It's the sad truth. Okay. Interesting decisions here. I think I gotta leave this Flynn alive a little longer, unfortunately, which is kind of annoying. The question is just whether we remove the Tink or if we play to the board. So, let's do this. We get to Elsa next turn. I think I'm just removing the Tink. There's a world I'm supposed to trade Maleficent and Mickey Mouse into Flynn there. It's not an impossible world by any stretch. And I'll probably regret not doing that if my opponent jams exactly Cusco here. Cheshire, okay. That's a lot of idiots. Alright, we're going to really want to get our hand empty and start clearing these Flynns. So let's go ink to 8 and discard the Mickey this time around. And then I don't want to let this trade happen for no reason. It's just really bad if I draw exactly like Friends on the Other Side or something like that, where I want the ability to do that. The Genie's actually super annoying here. That's a real pain in the ass. Okay. I could trade for the Olaf here at least. Okay. Needs some help. And this is kind of my issue with these matchups again. It's just like you can definitely do a good job at dealing with your opponent's early threats in this matchup, but they gain so much lore, and you don't have Be Prepared to like clear away the next wave. You end up in spots like this that kind of is hard to remedy. Playing tennis with the Genie. Genie's on the job. You can't be playing tennis with him. You'll get him in trouble. He's busy. He's working. Okay. What does that do? Not a lot, I don't think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're just dead anyway here, right? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we are just toast. This is rough. This matchup's really hard. I'm trying to find out how I'm supposed to remedy it. Like, this deck feels so good into Ruby-Amethyst. I just wish I could find a way to make it feel playable into the Emerald decks, but it just feels super, super rough. Yeah, I've got Phil in here already. Phil is doing a great job alongside Olaf and Mickey's and Maleficent's, and is definitely in the deck for that reason. But it's kind of not enough on its own. This hand is kind of nuts, admittedly. Less disco. It's proven to be a bit tough to find ways to smooth it out. Rafiki, yeah, the problem with Rafiki is that our deck is already very full of uninkables. We probably can't really afford to play anymore. You're already on like Mickey's and Ursula's and Elsa's and Hades and Magic Mirrors, and like at one point or another you just run out of space for non-inkable cards. Is kind of the issue. Merlin might be interesting in the future. Yeah. I definitely hope that Rise of the Floodborn brings us some tools to improve how we're looking and how we're feeling. So this is probably Amber Steel, which means I'm probably just putting my foot down. Whoop. Oh, Blue Merlin. Oh. I hadn't really thought of Blue Merlin, to be honest. That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if it's better than Jafar, is my kind of thought process. Like, I have Jafar in the slot right now, and I'm not sure it's better. This is actually Amber Sapphire, which is kind of sweet. Not sure. Might be worth exploring that one. Might be worth exploring the Merlin. Maybe that's okay. You can trade for this if you want to. Yeah, the extra support might help, I guess. Opponent will Mickey themselves. I've actually not played the Amber Sapphire matchup very much with this deck. I do wonder how it feels. I guess we'll find out in short order. So let's start by singing a little song. Yeah, Merlin does make the early game better, but Jafar is better on its own, and I'm not sure which of the two is where you want to be honest. So up to 5, Mickey pushes us up to 6, and then we're just starting to slam Haymakers. Am I wanting to slam Elsa's next turn? Maybe I want to slam Elsa's next turn. I can make that happen. I don't think I am, but it's worth thinking about. Yeah, maybe we get some more good support cards in Rise of the Floodborn, because this is definitely a deck that can use support very well. Opponent will just in time an Aurora. Wow. Don't see that very often. That scuppers my plans a little bit. I'm glad that I didn't race to Elsa. I would look very dumb. Beyond the obvious repulse. Yeah, I can see that, honestly, Mr. Nice Guy. Makes a lot of sense. Find an Ursula. Alright, well, I am pretty happy to get this Aurora in the Inkwell, and then trade for the Philo. I should eat the Stitch first, actually, I think. Value. But yeah, I think Jafar's actually kind of underplayed, to be honest. I think 4-drop Jafar is much better than it looks on face value. Rapunzel value here is a bit annoying. Not really an awful lot we could have done about it, though, I don't think. I guess maybe we just don't take the trade. Maybe. Yeah, I think Jafar is genuinely underplayed. Yeah, it challenges surprisingly well. I wish it challenged for 6, but it can't be Maui, can it? Yeah, it's good when it's good where it's good. 100%. Alright, I think we're just going to start feeding Elsa's here. Off you go. You still have slots blank versus... Yeah, to some extent. Like, either you play the... Oh, that's so bad. I had forgotten you. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Holy cheeks. Why did I ink last turn? Why? Oh, that was not clever. That is what we call a skill issue. Just draw the good cards, guys. It's not that hard. So I think we bump the Philo and sing away the Rapunzel to prevent future Rapunzel value and play around Carefree Surfer. Just draw the good cards. Play terribly and get out of it anyway. Don't even worry about it. Boop. Am I playing around it again? Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, suck it, Carefree Surfer. Sorry, I shouldn't be so rude. I would rather just play this for the value why I've got it, and not get it stuck in my hand. And you have forgotten me for the second time. Let's get to work. Fetch your Gmail to match your Discord name? Ah, you love to see it. Getting that stuff sorted always feels so good. It's nice to have like universal branding all over the place. My opponent would like me to let it go. I understand. My Elsa is gone. Sometimes you just run hotter than the sun, chat. Sometimes you just draw like a champion. It's pretty great. I recommend it. I very much recommend it. My opponent's doing the same, admittedly. But they don't have a board to quest while they're doing it, or a magic mirror, which is running away with this game all by itself. What do you got? Moana's pretty good here. Moana is pretty good here. Let's make sure that we can eat this Moana if it quests. Getting some Rapunzel value. It's pretty good. The hard pass afterwards. Sheesh. I think I'm just supposed to put my foot down here, right? Drawing the bell means I'm just supposed to put my opponent to task. They're through 2 of their 2 of their Let It Goes. Alright, I guess we take the slower route. It just feels like it's safer. Kill the Moana. I don't need to quest for this time. I learnt my lesson from the mistake I made. Let's draw a card. Can't do all of that. So let's draw a card. Play the bell. Pass. We definitely made a horrible play the turn that we let the You Have Forgotten Me ruin our life, but we thankfully got ourselves a little bit bailed out. Opponent has managed to keep up. Another mirror. Okay. I think I start here. Befuddle goes in the Inkwell, because that's not doing anything. Philo. So we go Phil, Mirror, Robin, draw a card, and then get to work and make our opponent answer our board. It's pretty good. Like, do something about it. Thanks again everyone who's been hanging out for this nice chill afternoon, by the way. Hopefully you've enjoyed a smattering of games of Lorcana. It's been nice to have you here. Appreciate everyone dropping a like on the video and subscribing if they haven't as well. It's been very sweet. Awesome. Very nice. Let's take another one with Blurple. I really enjoy playing this deck. I'm hoping I can figure out the puzzle of how to make it sing a bit better into Emerald. Because I would like to just play this for the rest of the month, honestly, because it's really fun. And eventually Rise of the Floodborn will make me change my mind. I'm going to play so many Bounce Merlin decks and absolutely tank my win rate. But that's okay. Alright, let's look for the Mickey. We'll keep the Grammatala, we'll throw everything else. The Mickey is just such a high priority. If you haven't got one, you should dig for it pretty aggressively. Oh, you're Big Bad Thor on Discord. Oh, very nice. I'm glad that you had such a good time with it, Thor. It'd be cool to collaborate on something for sure. By all means, feel free to reach out and let me know what you're thinking. For sure, man, for sure. I can't make any promises. Content creation is such a hard thing logistically, and my schedules are quite packed with all the articles and stuff that I have to write. But I'm open to the idea. By all means, feel free to reach out, and I'm more than happy to have a chat. Okay, we have some steel goodness on the other side. This Olaf is probably not good enough, in which case it's tough, because you want to go Olaf, Philo some amount of the time here, but I think the grammars are just much better, and Philo is so soft to grab your swords that it's not really where you want to be in this matchup. Amber Steel it is. Okay. So let's get Grammar on the go here. Let's just try and accelerate our ink as quickly as we can before we get wheeled. That's kind of the ideal situation. A Mickey off the top would be great. I would be very happy to see one. Discord, the best way to contact me? My Discord is just Howling Minds. I'm Howling Minds everywhere. I'll type it in the chat for you in case you do not know me from anywhere else. Or you can find me on Twitter. You can find me everywhere else at the same handle. You can get hold of me, your preferred method that way. All right. So now we have a genuine choice to make, because if we're getting a whole new world here, we're going to really wish we just played out the Grammatala, because the Maleficents are just kind of bad. And I think that's fairly likely next turn, so I'm going to lean towards that being the case. And just play as much acceleration early as I can, expecting my hand to get winded. And if it doesn't, I'm still curving into Maleficents, which is okay. Woo! Dun, dun, dun. There it is. There is the big fat world. All right. Time to rebuild. Still no Mickey, by the way, which is kind of ass. But it do be that way sometimes. Okay, so I'm kind of down here to Grammar Mirror, and I'm just, so the problem is I don't really want to give my opponent Rapunzel value, but I do kind of just want to crack these, and I think the upside of me cracking these is much higher than giving my opponent Rapunzel value, so I'm gonna, oh, I actually can't because it's a hook. Never mind, I'm talking a load of rubbish. That's not a thing we're allowed to do. So I definitely think I would have just bottled them in to cash them into ink. But Hook actively prevents me from doing that. Whew. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum-bum-bum. Down comes the Lilo, sure. More Lilos. Understood. Not really surprised to see the Hook questing. I will be shocked if the Aerial does, though. If we're inking a giant Tink, what is in your hand? I am in danger. Alright. Opponent's doing a pretty good job at keeping us in check so far. I think we're pretty happy to let it go here. And I think I am just clearing away the Hook. These grammars being stifled by my opponent being unwilling to quest is kind of an interesting dilemma. Because it's good for me that they're like questing more slowly. It's bad for me that I've not been able to accelerate. And I think we're in a bit of a weird middle ground. where it's kind of both good and bad, but this is still like a lot of lore at this point. Like, this just gains 11 when my opponent's ready to do so, and that's quite scary. I don't think I can afford to play this, can I? Ugh. I kind of want to play this Archimedes to play around getting wheeled, and I kind of don't want to play it in case I miss on Ink 7. I think I'm playing it, but it's kind of greedy. These Grammatallis are kind of going to work by themselves there, by the way. They are questing away. Ah, the swords. They have finally been grabbed. Yes. The problem we have now, unfortunately, is I'd probably just die to this board, because I have lost my ability to challenge these Lilos. There is no way out of this for me, I think. And again, this is kind of the problem with a deck like this, as I keep kind of alluding to, is that we're playing a color combination like this that has no board wipe. It has no interaction. It makes the aggro matchups just very difficult. Not easy. Not a fan. Alright folks, I am going to be calling it quits for now there on today's stream. Nice short punchy one, nice relaxing time. But it's time for me to go make some dinner, so I'm going to go eat some food, because food is good for me and I like food. But with that being said, hopefully you've enjoyed chilling out today. I'll likely do this more again in the future. It's always nice to stream on the channel periodically and do some live stuff. If you haven't already, do drop us a subscription. Feel free to check out some of the videos that have come out recently as well if you like. I'll be back with more Lorcana content very soon. But until next time, I've been Howling Minds. You have been amazing. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon.